Never fall off. As a man, you have a journey ahead of you. And it is imperative that you hear what I'm saying right now. This is coming straight from my soul, no script. It's something that's been burning a hole in my consciousness over the last weeks. And what I really mean is, men, never fall off. You can't afford to do it. Life is hard. We all go through struggles, pitfalls, ups, downs. That's just the ebbs and flows of life. You want to reach a fitness goal and boom, halfway through you have an injury. You go out, nice outfit, boom, you start noticing that it's going to start raining, you ain't got an umbrella. You in a relationship, you holding it down, you doing everything right, but you and your partner just ain't seeing eye to eye. You out here putting in mad job applications, not really getting any successful hitbacks. It's part of the journey. It's all going to happen to you in waves. And what I want to tell men in this video is never fall off. You owe it to yourself and also the people who might be slightly inspired by your example to always keep yourself on point. Physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and spiritually, don't ever fall off. Because we in a time right now where it's very interesting to see the changes that are happening in society. And, right now I'm reading The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. And I brought up Stoicism many times in previous other uploads, but I realized that the only way that a man can really keep himself mentally healthy and able to navigate the extreme changes that are happening in this world is to revert back to old principles and tried and true methods of ways of, let's say, building your masculinity and keeping yourself in a right headspace. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all already heard, I'm a married dude. I'm in a relationship, doing everything I can to hold it down. But my back mind is always never fall off, because you really don't have any safety net for what could come down the pipe. And let's be honest, as a man, you don't really have too many places you can go for emotional refuge. You don't have, let's say, a support group of guys who are all going to hear you whine about your emotional upheavals. It's kind of like meant for a man to suffer in silence and figure out a way to navigate through, which I know it's tough, but it's a cross that all of us are strong enough to bear if we hone in on principles of our own masculinity. You have every single thing within you that is necessary for you to flourish in this life. No need for you to look left, right, forward, or backwards for assistance. Now, I get it. Sometimes you might need a shoulder to lean on. You know what I mean? We all, let's say, struggle with things from time to time. But in general, like a good 90% of the time, you should be relying on your own faculties of reason, your own logic, and your own strength in order to get through challenges. So never fall off. Like, for example, in a relationship, you over here with your woman. Never fall off. Keep your physical, let's say, shape in order. You should be hitting the gym. And it's not just for her, because you are a representation of the man she picked. You know what I mean? Like, you represent your partner. Regardless of what she's doing, how she's dressing, how she's carrying herself, how she wants to navigate, you should be keeping your body sharp, keeping your mind also sharp. You should be keeping your appearance sharp. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a person who's really all about evolving. So I want my speech to represent or to show my intelligence. I want my decorum in the way that I walk into a room and conduct myself, the way I sit, my posture, how I gesture, how I treat other people. Like all of this, I want it to be more sophisticated and regal. It doesn't matter where you're from. It's all about where you are. I may never return back to where I'm from and set up camp to live, but wherever I go, I like the idea of being a strong ambassador and a good representative of where I come from, which is Dayton, Ohio. I like the idea of being somebody who is constantly going through a transformation, leveling up, so that when people who do know me see me, let's say, doesn't matter if it's a gap of 5 or 10 years from now, I'm able to captivate them. I'm able to maybe amaze them at how much I've grown. And even if not, if there's people who are on the sideline who hate or feel a certain type of way, I really don't even focus my attention on them. Your energy is something that's very sacred. Your attention is also something that's very, very valuable. You know, I made a video called Energy is Currency, but in a way also attention is currency in this day and age of social media and smartphones. I choose to pour my attention into things that all have to do with growth and development. Reading a book like The Daily Stoic is taking principles from literally thousands of years back, like in the past, and I'm using it in today's world, which was going to give me a supreme advantage because I'm doing everything in total opposite manner of, let's say, what's happening for the average person. You know, reading books will improve your attention span, which is what I choose to do. Sitting on your screen all day, scrolling left and right, is decreasing your attention span. So how will that play out when you're having a conversation with a person and you're able to actively listen and be present while they're discussing whatever is on their mind? You're able to literally learn so much because you're able to block out all distractions and read at an extended length of time. So this will also help you whenever you go to engage and socialize with other people. You'll be one of the few who are actually able to listen, decode, and understand the messages that are coming from other people versus having eyes that are cutting all over the place because you can't, let's say, function without novelty of something new every 5 seconds. You know, working out, taking care of your body and making sure you get out in nature and going on long walks and keeping yourself engaged in this way. That's in total contrast to the sedentary lifestyles that we usually live, where we're sitting in front of a screen, sitting down at work. You know, depending on what industry you're in, you might even be in an office. So think about it. You go from an office to getting in your car to driving home, parking, and then you go up the stairs and next thing you know, you're in your house again. So where are you really outside getting that vitamin D? Where are you getting that fresh air? When are you exposed to nature, which is going to heal you in so many different ways, right? You know, the world is all about consumerism, spending stuff, buying stuff, but then, you know, studying Stoicism and looking at other principles that I live by, I'm going more in the minimalist direction. I'm actually totally detached from materials and prestige and like looking a certain way. Now I get it. You don't get it twisted. It's not like you're going to see me walking around like a bum. You know, I don't need to take it to that extreme. It's okay for you to have nice things, but prioritizing, let's say, the non-tangibles of life, your growth, your ascension, your consciousness, instead of materials. You know, I find that this gives me refuge. And I'm only telling you guys all this because these are the things that I do to never fall off. No one respects a weak man. Nobody even really cares either, if I'm just being totally honest with you. We have to get back to a point where we're all strong, where we all emulate power. Very, very critical at this particular point in time. I'll leave y'all with that, man. So just remember, in all capital letters. Never fall off.